What's up, Gromies? It is Uncle Ben, and this is our week 14 update. This week, we're going over internodal spacing. What is that and what it means to you as a grower? Also, we're going over a transplant shock, what it looks like, what to do, and what happened here with our plants that are experiencing transplant shock. And last but not least, we're doing a silica feed. So stay tuned and keep it locked in.
He's popping the seeds and growing the greens, building that soil with the cleanest means. Sunshine, water, healthy plants from end to end. You're growing with Uncle Ben.
Growin with Uncle Ben is sponsored by True Organic, a worldwide leader in organic fertilizers. Their products are 100% pathogen-free and designed to build living soil so your plants can thrive. Growing with Uncle Ben is also sponsored by Mr. Mike's Premium Worm Castings, packed with beneficial microbes and natural nutrients to bring life back into your soil. When it comes to organic growing, I trust Neptune's Harvest. Their organic fertilizers are products in the ocean to set your plants in motion. From roots to blooms, it shows amazing results in everything you grow. Growing with Uncle Ben is sponsored by Torch Mode Studios. They create AI-powered cinematic visuals, commercials, and promo reels built to make your brand impossible to ignore. They take your ideas and elevate the vibe of your business. When attention is the game, they help you rise above the noise. Torch Mode Studios. Ignite your brand.
Torch Mode!
Here is our strawberry cheesecake. Remember, this is our strawberry auto. Shout out to the homie, the Grow Me, F. Bills from Discord. He sponsored these seeds, and this thing is going to be a chunker. So it's still kind of like mid-flower, and let's put some size on here. It's going to be a dense one. Every branch, even the lowers are performing pretty good. That'd be a decent nug right there, see? So I'll probably go down there and and they pull that low off over there. But it's not a lot of point into this. Whoever bred this we'll talk about internodal spacing. This one has definitely really good internodal spacing. Didn't have to do really any defoliation. Really didn't produce a lot of fan leaves either. So put a lot of production in the flower. This is like maybe, I don't know, maybe week 3 or 4 flower. This is auto flower. It's looking pretty good. So stay tuned. You'll see how this goes. Look at this one. This is our Moon Skunk OG, Sour Apple OG. We planted this June 4th. So it's about a month and a few days. Today is the 10th. So it's looking pretty good. It's got some jagged leaves, but the color is impeccable. Look at that. No yellow leaves anywhere. This is vegging really good. So it has another pretty much 2 months of veg. Probably going to flower late August, early September, but it's stacking up. And yeah, folks say, why don't you top and stuff? I do that for my indoor grows. I don't train my outdoor grows because what I found over the years of just training, how I have my garden set up, I don't want to really use a lot of trellises, and I really don't have the space for that, and I don't want to navigate my garden like that. So what I found is if I train the plants outside, they start to get, the branches get weak. And so during storms, the branches break and all of that. And I just found I was losing more yield with the breaking of branches. And I like to just go like this because, one, I like to look at my garden too, and I don't want to see a whole lot of fences and supports up, it kind of just ruin the look. So I understand what the grow me's in the comments is saying about, oh, you should train your plants. But one is just more of a personal preference because I like to visually look at my plants to see how they grow naturally outdoors. And it just weakens the branches. I feel like I lost a lot of yield. I'll come home from work and I have a branch on the ground that's been there all day. And I didn't like that. So yes, my indoor grows, you'll see that later on. We start our indoor grows probably around in first week of September. So you'll see how I top and train my indoor grows, definitely, because there's no environment in there really. I mean, environment meaning there's no storms, there's no wind. So you can kind of do what you want to do as far as training. But, you know, when you're outside, man, and you want to just let it grow like this without supports, I feel as though the plant structurally is just it's sound. I didn't lose a lot of yield, and comparatively, I got about the same amount of yield I would have gotten, minus the loss I get from broken branches. So, hey, Gromies, one thing breeder pay close attention to is internodal spacing. This is simply the distance between one set of leaves and branches and the next stem. You see what I'm saying? Like a node. And why this is important is because, the better the internodal spacing, the less you have to really defoliate because, like, see how this plant is spaced out pretty good. You're able to get the airflow and light into the plant that you need. So some bushier plants are put on more. Well, this is going through transplant shock. So it's coming out better now. Starting to put out some 5-point leaves. But see, this internodal spacing actually is not bad. It's not bad. It's putting out a lot of leaves because it's going through transplant shock. But like, here's another photo period. This is our Moon Skunk OG, Sour Apple OG. This has pretty decent internodal spacing. Look at that. But breeders intentionally select parent plants that have the structure they're looking for over generations. So you look at it and see how it grows and all of that. So there you have it. It's internodal spacing, man. Tell me what you think in the comments. And if you're a breeder, give us your insight on how you decide what plants to select for the best internodal spacing, or, what you think is best. Hey, Gromies, now look at this one. This is like week 2 of it starting to put out more 5-pointed leaves. Now, this plant here, and along with the other ones, most of the ones here that are going through transplant shock are fast flowers. My first time growing a fast flower, and I definitely would recommend, if you're growing fast flowers, treat them like your autoflower over there and direct sow it in this final pot that you're going to grow in. So, but if you do experience transplant shock, it happens even with photoperiod sometimes, depending on what you do and how you handle your plants. Just let it ride out. So luckily for us, it was early in the growth season. So it gave it time for the plant to kind of get over the shock, so it started putting out these 1-3 leafers. So once it's, over the shock, then it'll start putting out these normal pointed leaves. So that's where we at. And while it's going through that resetting process, while it's, re-vegging and repairing from transplant shock, you don't want to go back and prune these leaves until you start to see it produce these 5-point leaves, because you don't want to put stress on top of stress. Now that I see it's producing, normal pointed leaves now in the new growth, I can go back and start defoliating and removing all these ugly leaves. So you see that with this plant too. It's starting to put out 5-point leaves. So transplant shock, definitely. And fast flower for the Gromies is a cross between a photo and an auto. So I know you guys will probably have experienced, if you try to transplant an auto, I know every time I try to do it, I have this problem. It would just trigger into flower. The only thing that saved this is that, I put it outside as opposed to, just transplanting it inside and keeping it in a pot indoors. It probably would just when it went to flower. Anytime I ever had transplant shock on an auto flower indoors, that's exactly what it did. It just started to flower immediately. Look at that lantern fly right there. Just gotta get them things off, man. They latch onto your branches and get the sap off your branch. I've been fighting them all day, all season, I should say. But anyway, here's our 5 pointed leaves here. So later on this week, probably my day off, I'm gonna come out here and start defoliating and cutting off all these older leaves. Hey, Grovens. So now today we're giving our plants silica. Now, silica is good for especially outdoors. I don't use it indoors. Not saying that you can't use it indoors, but it's really for to help the plants get more sturdy and resilient to the weather and elements that you face outside, and help it to be a little bit more pest resistant. So here's a silica boost here. One thing to note when you're using silica specifically, if you put this and you don't thoroughly mix it with the water first, and it comes in contact with other liquid feeds that you're giving your plant, if you decide to give liquid feeds at the same time, it will do what's called precipitation, right? Kind of like rain, right? But what happens is it'll coagulate these other liquid feeds that you put in your jug together, and they won't mix well with the water. So what you want to do is I recommend just split the days up. Do the silica by itself. That's why you see it. That's the only thing I'm doing today. And have your other liquid feeds that doesn't do the precipitation. Do that, later on in the week when you do another, liquid feeding or when you're ready to water. So here we go here. So I got my 2-gallon jug here. I'm going to get this, let me shake it up a little bit. Give it just a 2-count pour. There we go. Now, this is our mixed jug here. You can tell I'm serious about my silica. This is my mixed jug is an old silica jug. So I do this to make sure it's really mixed up together. So I shake it really good. Then I go over here and I pour it in my jug here. So this is a 2-gallon jug here. So I've already pre-filled it. So there you go. Now let's go put this in our plant. All right, grow me. So we have our silica here. Now we're getting ready to feed our plant here. So this is our black gorilla. Shout out again to the homie F Bills who sponsored this one. And it's going to be a beast. So again, we're just going to just water the plant like we normally do. Again, I just don't water right around the base. I water the whole pot. Make sure all the microbes and everything is evenly watered. Everything is about balance when you go in this. What I think is cool about this plant, I like how the leaves are fat in the middle. You have like some that are like skinny, but this one's like really, yeah, it's a good looking plant. But there you have it. That's our silica feed. So now let's check out some pictures from the Gromies on Discord. First up, we have my man Box looking 98. Italian Ice. It's 11, 12 weeks old from seed. Hey, it's looking good, man. The green color is perfect. The leaves are perfect. There's no sign of stress or anything. This thing is looking like $1 million. Look at it. There you go. That thing is perfect. Strong work, brother. Yeah, I like how you going. Is that a 7-gallon pot? He asked his question, should he defoliate? I'm saying, hey, let it rock out a little bit longer, wait till you get a little bit closer to the flower. The nodal space is looking good. Man, that leaf is perfect, man. It look like AI or something that's so perfect. Man, that's a good looking plant. Strong work, brother. Next up, we have my man Gunky Buckets. He says he's asking what is going on with his plant. He did some speckling. I would check for spider mites, or it could be the beginning of a nutrient deficiency. So I would check down the side of the leaves, check for webbing, black little speckled stuff, terps, any sort of mites, and then it could be your deficiency. What was the last time you fed it? Hey, Romans, what you think it is? Drop it in the comments below. Hey, Gromies. That was our week 14 update. So make sure you hit like, subscribe. Hey, we're growing. We're growing. We're getting like 200 subscribers a day. I like to say thank you to all the viewers, subscribers, followers, supporters. Hey, it's been real. It's Uncle Ben. Keep it growing.
He's popping the seeds and growing the greens, building that soil with the cleanest means. Sunshine, water, healthy plants from end to end. You're growing with Uncle Ben.